Yo, so long guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager save. This is episode number 105. And today we're returning with two games with Dortmund. Barcelona away in the Champions League final league phase game. Mönchengladbach away at Borussia Park. And we'll also have transfer deadline day and the draw for the Champions League playoff round as well, where we're guaranteed to be going into. Before we get to the games though, shout out Dortmund getting on off camera. And of course, in the last episode, you saw the King of the Jungle once again take a beating, this time at our place for the first time since I've been here. 3-0 win over Bayern in the DFB Pokal third round to send us through to the quarter-finals. We then had a 1-1 draw away against Mainz and then a 2-1 loss at home to Manchester United in the Champions League. Our only goal of Cam was a banker, 4-1 victory at home to Stuttgart, where Landshooter got another goal. He scored 3 early on in this season in 2 games, and then he didn't score again for a long time, but finally broke his goal drought, giving us the opener. Fernando bagged the brace, and oh man, like the 2 balls for our third and fourth goals, just absolutely delicious. I mean, the first one, which was Mukoko's finish, Kroos just played this wonderful chip through ball over the top, and Yusufa converted from close range. And then for the fourth goal and our final one, Fernando getting on into a streety cross, which just whipped in so nicely. And I did lose the clean sheet later on. I wasn't too concerned. And that means in the Bundesliga, as you will see, we are top of the table. Yes, that was our game in hand, if you remember, after Leipzig lost to Hoffenheim. And we have now gone top of the table. So, 2 points clear, better goal difference record, top scorers in the league, joint best defensive record with 14 games to go. Easier said than done, of course, but win them all, and we are Bundesliga champions. So, yeah. You know, it's funny to say this, but in my third year, this is the latest in a season where I've been top. That's ridiculous, isn't it? We only just forgot the second half of the season, but it's true. This is the latest. Oh, no, we haven't. Last year, we led the way for, like, a game and then bottled it at the end of the season. But even so, we're top right now, and destiny in our own hands for now. And in terms of transfers, Salah Özcan, the former vice-captain, has gone to Al Garafa. So yeah, it's all changed with Borussia Dortmund in terms of the hierarchy at the top. Yes, Schlotterbeck going to Atletico Madrid, Gregor Kobel going to Manchester City, and Özcan is off to Qatar. So yep, totally fine letting him go. He was 35 years old now, and to be fair, what a great squad player for me over the past 3 years. In the first season, he was a starter, but then last season, of course, he started to get phased out a little bit. This season even more so. So I gave him the 2-year extension in the summer, but it was highly unlikely he was going to make it to the end of those 24 months. In the end, only last 6, goes to Qatar for a small fee, but we'll take it knowing we get a salary off the books, and it's all changed with Borussia Dortmund now in the hierarchy. It used to be Schlotterbeck, Özcan and Kobel. Now it's just Reina and Romero, and one of these guys is going to take that team leader spot soon. I'm hoping it's Creswell. It needs to be, really, not just for the personality, but also the fact he's the captain as well, but hopefully Creswell will get up there. And then there's potential that Romero may well be playing his final season for the club as well, out of contract coming the end of next year. I've asked if he wants to sign a new deal, and unfortunately he's not interested. So I think Romero is going to play his final year in a Dortmund shirt as well. So it's constant change in our team leaders group right now. And at some point, I need Creswell to take the reins and say, do you know what? I'm captain. I'm going to lead this team from here on out. So financially, with deadline day in 5 days' time, our bank balance 47.5 mil, and our transfer budget just under 12. I don't predict we'll do anything of note. It'll all depend on whether, again, Romero goes or if Company goes. The big interest has not dropped off of Anthony Company. He's also out of contract in 18 months' time. I've said he can go for 61 million. He's been in better form recently, which has seen a market valuation rise. I've got a feeling one of those clubs is going to meet 61 mil, and once that happens, I can't really back out. Otherwise, he's going to be disappointed with me. He won't drop the issue, and of course, of 18 months, I won't be able to sell him in the summer or talk him around in enough time. So yeah, good chance Anthony or Luca, or possibly even both, leave today. So moving on to the first game of today's episode, then it is indeed Barcelona away at the Nou Camp. But again, you know, I discussed this in the last episode. There's nothing for us to play for now. We've guaranteed a playoff place. We can't get to a top 8 place now because we're 4 points behind Juve in 8th place. And we can't drop any lower now because most of these teams have already played their 8th game. Porto have played 7, but they can't catch us. The most they can get to is 9. We've already got 11 on the board. So I see why UEFA might have thought this is a good idea to make it more competitive, if you will, and to give teams more to play for. But not really. I mean, when most of it's already being locked up with a game to go, and because it's not done as seeding in the over 16 there, it's just anyone can get drawn against anyone in the knockout tie. It doesn't do anything. So it doesn't make it more competitive. If anything, it makes it less competitive. And anyway, Barca away at the new camp, so nothing for us to play for. So because of that, I'm far more focused on the game away at the Borussia Park on Sunday as we aim to stay top of the table. So with that being the case, I'm going to rest my entire team for tonight, and this will be our lineup. So Alfonso is in goal. It's his third start in a row between the sticks here, with Flavio Subotic, Neven's son, Bennett and Curing a makeshift back four, with Watjen and Koos Silva, the young Dutch midfielder we picked up as a ball-winning midfielder. You might wonder why I've changed it from DM to CM. It's very simple. I promised Silva he could play CM and not DM by accident. It's so annoying when you do that, isn't it? When you promise a player they can play in that role, and you don't realise that they're natural in the wrong role, in the wrong position. Sorry, to where your tactical shape is. I thought he was a natural DM, so I was like, "You want to play DM ball in midfielder? Yeah, sure, I'll promise you that because you're gonna play there anyway." And I was like, "No, he's CM." All right, okay. He'd still be pissed off if I played him DM ball in midfielder. So that's so frustrating, isn't it? One of those things in FM. I do feel promises. I wouldn't say they're broken, but they could do with a little bit of an upgrade, you know, and a little bit of improvement. But anyway, he's alongside Kiel. On the wings, you've got Company Romero, possibly playing for one of the final times tonight, and Reina supporting Jordan Norton, leading the line up top. On the bench, you've got Steiger, the Dragon, Van Loo, Bubnik, Mane, Wimmer, Landschutter, Wagaman, Diao, Mohamed, Kok, Mukoko. So, first of the two games, it's Barca away, but nothing to play for, so anything goes. Come on, Borussia Dortmund. Trying to get these done. There we go. We have 37. I like that on a winger. 37 is a cool number on a winger, isn't it? I like that. I like that a lot. Come on, let's get to the game. Come on now. Yeah, it's my first trip to the new camp in the save, so I really wanted to do this one on camera. You know, obviously for FM, you know, we know this, like in terms of graphic capabilities, it's certainly not going to win many awards, and obviously for a 2D player like myself, I don't really mind the graphics aren't great, but I'd love to see in future versions of FM, if they license and partner with, even if it's just one club, do you know what I mean? Like PES, or I think it's called eFootball nowadays, or Konami, they're like Barcelona, do you know what I mean? They're like Barcelona, it's their game, it's Barcelona's game. You know, and I'd love to see that for FM one day. You know, it's, oh, what a great goal that would have been by Drag off the woodwork. I'd love to see that FM get the sponsorship for like one major European club. Can you imagine that? Like, how cool would that be? Like, they have the real stadium in the game and stuff, the real training facilities. I just think that would be absolutely class. Like, the one reason why I wouldn't play Football Manager on PlayStation is very simple. It's because you can't install face packs and logo packs. And to me, now, not everyone agrees with me here, and that's totally fine, but to me, I feel as though face packs and logo packs are kind of essential in order to make the game feel too immersive as, oh, great save by the youngster, but Xavi Simons taps in the rebound. It's going to be a long old night for the Mexican kid, I think, as Barca go in front just 3 minutes in. But that to me is something which it's a bit of a non-negotiable with me with FM, do you know what I mean? You might notice that I don't play with the real kits, you know, and sometimes I'll even forget to do the things like, you know, name fixes for like the German national team, for example. But when it comes down to logo packs and face packs as well, face packs, maybe you could sort of get away with not using them, but definitely logo packs. You know, the game wouldn't feel finished if they were like generic logos. Do you know what I mean? It's why for me FIFA CM has gotten harder to enjoy over the years, because since EA have started to lose more and more of their licensing, especially in the Serie A, in Italian football, where I'm doing my current career mode, when you're taking on Bergamo Calcio, and you've got these chunny little generic home and away kits and this chunny badge, it's like, it really takes away from the immersion, whereas in the computer version of Football Manager, you can fix that. You know, you can add in the real ones, and it really adds to the immersion and the realism, you know. Anyway, 38 minutes in, and to be fair, we've done well to keep Barca down to 1 tonight with our backup team. But let's see if we can get ourselves a second goal. Romero on the spin, back to Silva, and now Bennett to Watjen. Subotic, the young Serbian, takes over and finds Anthony Company. Now, it's a lovely build at this by Dortmund, to be fair. And here is the Spaniard Company, and Norton's in the middle. And what a way to end your goal drought. Jordan Norton ends his drought for a very long time after a beautiful team goal. So my first team at time can't pick a 5-yard pass. My B team out there have just scored an absolutely beautiful, beautiful build-up team goal. One which Barcelona themselves, I'm sure, would consider applauding. Yep, it's the young Australian who just signed an extension, who's finally broken his goal drought of none in his last 12, I think. And he's finally on the score sheet, and he's done it at a new camp. And to be fair, a meaningless game. You know, if we come away with this with a point, it might well be meaningless. But I've got to say, boys, that was a very good first half performance. Fair play. Second half to begin. I'm going to take off Reina and Romero in the second half here, but if we can hold on to this, that will be a great result for confidence. Barca looking for their winner with 18 minutes to go, and I think they're going to get it. Or Drago, oh, great save, but the flag was up anyway. Alfonso, this young wonder kid, I must say, we spent big on bringing Dennis Seaman back to the Bundesliga. I said it, I think, in the last episode. I don't regret it, but, if I would have gone with Alfonso starting for the season, getting all these minutes, he would be developing much quicker than he is right now. He's a heck of a young shot stopper. And the new Guillermo Ochoa looking to help us see out a famous point here away at the new camp. But there's still 17 minutes on the clock. Pedro Porro's pass cut out. And Flavio hits it long. Company. Chance for Dortmund on the break here. Diao has Jordan Norton with him. He's found the Australian. And he's tapped it in. Dortmund lead! The kids are alright. Diao plays a good through ball into Jordan, but to be fair to Norton, who couldn't buy a goal, when you talk about the composure, rounding the keeper and then slotting it past the covering defender into the bottom corner, that is pretty special from the 20-year-old Australian. Well, Dortmund are in front tonight. I just thought, don't get battered. Instead, we're leading with 14 minutes to go. Our first goal was brilliant. And our second goal, a good ball by Dale, a good finish. But here come Barca, not wanting to be embarrassed. Drago, great save by the Mexican. You know, for all of my managerial highs within this save, I think the EFL Cup win, which was my first trophy with Bournemouth, that comeback against Spurs when we were 3-1 down, forced extra time in the final 5 minutes and then won in extra time. That's I think the best win we've had and the most memorable moment. But this, I can't believe I'm saying this, is actually going to be up there. A memorable win and then some for a Borussia Dortmund B team away at the Nou Camp with a fantastic side as well. Fair play. That is an amazing underdog victory. I'm chuffed with that. Absolutely chuffed. I never saw that coming. What an incredible win away at the Nou Camp. So just processing through. Sorry, it's Friday night and Leipzig are away at Union Berlin. I expect them to win, to be fair, because, yeah, 2-0 win there. Union Berlin's home record is shocking. Only 2 wins in 21. And Leipzig actually have a very impressive away record. So, there we go. That is their game on the Friday night, which means that we'll need at least a point on Sunday to go back to top spot. So, Leipzig setting the tone with the win, but again, we still have that game in hand. And as for the Saturday fixtures, we'll process through these together as well. Bayer are away against Mainz. Bayer really need to keep on winning to keep pace with us, and Leipzig's a bit of separation is now occurring, and Bayern are away against Hoffenheim, which is the final game. It should be a banker theoretically, considering Hoffenheim's poor season, but don't forget Hoffenheim just beat RB Leipzig, so they could well put off a shock again there. But as we'll process through, I'm hoping at least one of those slip-ups there for either Bayer or Bayern, because I still feel as though it could well be a 2-horse race, but as Bayern did win and Bayer won as well, I am still looking over my shoulder and thinking they're not done yet. So yeah, other than Hertha Berlin, all of the teams around us have won those games there. So Bayern back in the top 4, and right now, still having a game in hand on Leipzig, could theoretically cut it to 5 points. You cannot rule the Kings of the Jungle out. Right then, second and final game, and right before transfer deadline day, needing to get at least a point to remain top of the table, or go back to top of the table, I should say. As we're in Lakeoff today, sorry, Schalke at home to Eintracht Frankfurt, so we'll process through that one together and see if Frankfurt could do us a favour there, and they did not. So Schalke also remaining in the title race. I've got to say, I still feel your favourites are us and Leipzig and Bayern, but you still can't even rule out Hertha and Schalke and Bayer as well. I think Mainz now probably going to fall off the pace a little bit, but the top 6, I still feel as though anyone still has a shout to win it. But if we are to win it, we need to keep on matching RB Leipzig's results. So a point will take us top, but I want to win. Following game, Mönchengladbach away, heading into it, back to our normal starting 11, and this will be our team. We've got Dennis back in goal, and about four is Stridi, Dragan, Creswell and Fresneda, with Kroos and Romani at DM Joe. Dos Santos on the left, Romero on the right, and Landshooter supporting Mukoko up top. On the bench, you've got Alfonso, Bennett, Flavio, Kiel, Silva, Keuring, Rayner Company, and Jordan Norton as well. Second and final game, Mönchengladbach away. Let's get this win and go back to top of the table by 2 points. Come on, Borussia Dortmund. So first highlight falling 13 minutes in as Chang is dispossessed by Kroos. And the kid Landshooter gives it to Romero on this right-hand side. Through to Yusufa. Great ball. And Mukoko must finish, and he doesn't. Cleared off the line. I do see a lot of goal line clearances in this year's FM, I must say. But cleared off the line there as Yusufa thought he'd done all the work he needed to do. But just couldn't slot the ball home. Corner. Dortmund don't score from many set pieces as Fernando's going to float this ball to the far post. It's headed on by Yusufa, but onto the roof of the net. Still 0-0. Being a stronger team so far, we're in control, we're getting chances, we're dominating possession. So one of those games where tactically things are working, we just need to take a chance. Like right now, Yusufa, can you get it second time? Lucky, yes you can. Yes you can. Missed the first one-on-one, but doesn't miss that one. Was he offside though? Dos Santos with the ball through. It'll go to VAR. And it does indeed stand. Another assist for Fernando, chasing that Bundesliga record, and 29 for Yusufa. I'll be honest, last year, despite winning the Golden Boot, I was a little bit underwhelmed. This year, whilst he hasn't performed great in big games, he has been consistently fine the back of the net. 1-0 Dortmund, Yusufa opens the scoring. I think it's safe to say he's starting to shrug off that stat padder reputation. No doubt about that. He wasn't liking the memes he was seeing on Twitter and Reddit. And he thought, you know what, I'm going to shut these guys up, man. I'm going to shut these guys up. I'm not a stat padder. I can perform in away days as well. Everyone's going to have off days, myself included, but I'm not a stat padder. Scored the opening goal against Bayern in that 3-0 demolition job. He scored the first goal tonight here away at Borussia Park. So, yep, he's starting to prove himself now, Yusufa. About bloody time. Kroos, Dos Santos, and forward we go. Landshooter, the kid. Lovely through ball. Mukoko should have got the kid an assist. Fires wide. But that is Yusufa's problem, to be fair. You know, you look at 29 goals, think, my goodness. But the reality is, he's had 3 one-on-ones out there and a solid header chance as well. So he could have even more goals than he's got. I think even right now, at this point in the season, he should be on 40. And that's a lot to ask of. But I think with all the chances he's missed this season, 2 missed penalties, so many golden one-on-ones, he should be at 40 goals right now. 29 is very impressive. No one's going to deny that. But in my opinion, with the chances he missed, he could have 40. Anyway, still 1-0. And will we pay and rue those missed chances? And Mönchengladbach look for a leveller as Zach Lovelace, fires way wide. Still 1-0. And I can tell this is going to be a nervy game to see out once again. All of our away days are like this. Nervously trying to defend a 1-goal lead in that second half. Highlight, minute to go. And I'm a little bit nervous because we've got possession just inside the Mönchengladbach half. And if you're an FM player, you know that's always a bit nervy. We've got it back though. Dos Santos wisely shepherds. Oh, what a ball. Oh, and Anthony Company. Should have got Fernando. No, it says, what a ball by Fernando. But again, a game where we missed loads and loads of chances and really should have won more comfortably. Thankfully, we're not going to rue them. Final score at Borussia Park, 1-0. And do you know what? If we got to scrape by 1-0 in all of our away days, so be it. We're back on top spot and we go 2 clear of Leipzig once again. So as deadline day arrives, there are rumours we will be losing both Romero and Company in this window, but I actually think Romero is going to stay. And do you know why that is? Because I just tried to offer him a new contract and it seems as though he's now willing to talk. So Luca I'm definitely keeping. I mean, he was amazing with me at Bournemouth. I'm definitely keeping Romero. Company I think can go, but for the value that Luca has to me as a player that can play through the middle, can play as an inside forward on the wings, and unlike Anthony, is so consistently brilliant and has been for all 3 of these years. I'm definitely going to keep hold of him. I've worked with him at 2 different clubs now. I'm not letting him go. So Champions League draw is just about to be undertaken. I just wanted to check this because we've been seeded for it. But I don't understand this because it says here, qualification, teams placed 9th to 24 qualify for the playoff round, but it doesn't show who should be seeded and who shouldn't be seeded. So if you look at this, we've got the 8 seeded teams here, us, Bayer, Inter, Newcastle, PSG, Nice, Leipzig and Sociedad. But I I can't work that one out. I can't work that one out personally. Someone's gonna have to explain that to me. Anyway, yeah, Champions League phase draw. Sorry, knockout, the last 16 draw. So the teams we can face: Monaco, Karabakh, Liverpool, Galatasaray, Lazio, Valencia, Barcelona, and Milano. So it is actually the teams that are below us in the league. It really should explain that in the rules. But anyway, here we go. Let's see who we've got in the Champions League. Timo Werner, do it for your German bros and give us an easy tie here, please. Well, first one out of the hat, and it's Monaco away. And can I just say, fuck going to France, because 3 of my knockouts in European competitions have been in France. To Stade Rennais twice, and also to someone else, but I can't remember. But even so, it's Monaco. It's not the team I wanted, I'll be honest here. I will be totally honest. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, what am I doing? That is so frustrating. Monaco. I don't know if we're going to get through them. We've got a terrible history, or I've got a terrible history against French sides in this competition and in Europe in general. I don't know. We drew with them at home in the league phase. That was our first game in the league phase as well. And we'll take them on first leg away. They're third in league, and it's a very good side. They've got some of the great players there, including our former winger, Hamid Traore, the Ivorian Conor Gallagher, who's a monster at this point in the save right now as well. Moise Keane is there too. They've got Simone Profundi, who is an amazing, absolutely amazing attacking midfielder in this year's FM as well. Oh, they've got Antonio Silva, very interesting indeed. The young Portuguese centre half from Benfica. It's a fantastic team. That's going to be a tough one, but bring them on. So that is going to do it. Deadline day comes to an end, and I'm quite shocked actually that there was no bids whatsoever for either Company or Romero, but I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine that we did nothing on deadline day, because I think we've got a good enough team to stay where we are right now, just top of the table. Really, there's not much of a weak spot here. You could say a lack of quality and depth, but I think we'll be alright as long as we have no injury crisis. Touch wood, fingers crossed. Yep, no business done. Romero and Company will see out the season, hopefully. They'll see it out with a Bundesliga winners medal wrapped around their necks as well. Because that'll do it for today's episode, guys. So big fan of watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have done, please do drop a like. So you all have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next episode with games again. So we've got to do them, haven't we? We've got to do them. Both legs. I just can't get a gap this season, man. But Monaco, both legs in the Champions League. First away in France and at home. Sandwiched in between that, a tricky trip to Hoffenheim, scrapping for survival down the bottom of the table. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Football Manager Save. Not another European knockout in France again, surely. Very soon.